Welcome back. It is Sunday sit-down time. With me now is my former colleague here at ABC 17 News. He now works for Learfield IMG College. He's also the news director at MissouriNet. Brian Hauswirth, a man of many trades. Thanks so much for coming on. I know you don't have a lot of days off these days.
Not a lot, and during the football season, especially with a special session and a veto session and everything else, and covering Madeline Albright and football, it's been crazy. But Andrew, thank you for the invitation. Always great to talk to you, and always great to be back here at Channel 17.
Yeah, and it was a great day for the Mizzou football team, bringing home the Mayor's Cup over South Carolina. The first time they've done that since 2015. What were your takeaways from that game?
I think two things that stick out to me, Andrew, about it, and you did a great job covering it. I enjoy your coverage on that. But the fact that Kelly Bryant continues to impress. He's comfortable. I like him. He's got pinpoint accuracy. They did have the loss, obviously, against Wyoming, but he continues to impress. His numbers are good. He gets it done with his feet and the arm, so I've been very impressed there. I think the other two things that grab my attention are Ronell Perkins, the 100-yard pick six. What an amazing play. That's something Carolina has had a problem with, getting down into the red zone, getting down within the 10, and in this case throwing a pick. And last week they had a chance to really cut it to within 7 against Alabama at the end of the first half, and Helinski made kind of a bad throw there in the back of the end zone. So Perkins not only to catch the ball and intercept it, but he also was able to put the Jets in motion and take it back. That was amazing. It's not to say there aren't things to work on, but I'm very impressed at 3-1, minus the loss to Wyoming. That was just at the very end of the game.
Real quick, Brian covers Wyoming every single week. So what is the update on Wyoming for those Mizzou fans out there that are still shaking their heads? Are they doing well?
They are. They're 3-1 right now, and really, Andrew, they should be 4-0 right now, because Missouri going into their season, I said, was the toughest opponent they would face before they got to the non-conference. They open up conference play next week against UNLV, and they should win that. Their loss was yesterday. I was doing the Wyoming scoreboard as I was doing Missouri, and they were playing in Tulsa. They had to battle the weather, and Sean Chambers, the quarterback, had a chance to win the game. They were down 21-17 late in the game. He drives them down the field. Like 2 minutes to play, they're at the 5-yard line. He has a chance to go in, and a couple players converge on him from different directions. The ball pops out. He loses it, fumbles at the 1 or 2 yard line, and then Tulsa was able to run the clock out. So Wyoming is 3-1, but still, they're a good football team. They're going to be in a bowl, no doubt.
So that's at least somewhat good news for Mizzou fans, knowing that it wasn't total slouch. And Wyoming is a tough place to play.
It is.
That game's behind them. Let's get back to the South Carolina game, and Cale Garrett coming up with that crazy touchdown he had in the first quarter. I feel like that really set the tone for the whole game. What does that say about a guy like that, being in the right spot, right time?
Right spot at the right time, and I got to tell you, this is my 21st year doing scoreboards, and I saw some of your coverage of it as well. I've never seen anything like it. I was confused. I wasn't sure because I've never seen anything like it, and I think a few of the players seemed confused, but great adrenaline, and the ability to go right to the football speaks volumes about knowledge and also knowing where the ball is. So that was big, but also to put themselves in a position to do that and get pressure on Helinski speaks volumes. I like the job that Garrett is doing. He's done a good job. Missouri's defense has done fine. They continue to work, and Barry Odom right now just has to use this bye week to get him to even do more and get ready for Troy, because Troy will not be an easy opponent either.
And that's my next topic here. Odom has struggled after the bye week. You think that they would be good, but the week off hasn't been so good to the Tigers. And Troy, like you just mentioned, is no slouch. What do you think?
They're no slouch. I mean, I remember back, I want to say 2005, Troy upset Missouri. Now, granted, I realize that's a different era. It was a different coach, Gary Pinkel, and that was a good football team, by the way. The point is, you can't take them for granted, because a lot of the players, Andrew, that Troy recruits are players that either couldn't get recruited or tried to get recruited by Alabama and Auburn or maybe UAB. So they're good football players. They're 2-1. They've just won their last game against Akron. They play in the Sun Belt, so they're athletic, but Missouri still should win. But I think your point is well taken, that Barry Odom can use this as an opportunity to tune up, maybe get a little healthy too, because players get banged up. But again, it's the fact that you have 5 home games in a row. Missouri needs to take advantage of that, and then Ole Miss around the corner after that.
Anything stopping Mizzou from being 7-1 headed into Athens, Georgia?
I think more than anything else, you want to take it one game at a time. And I warned about Wyoming, and I wasn't being critical of Missouri, as you know, in the preseason. I was simply saying don't count any team out. But I think that looks good. But again, just focus one at a time.
With that said, is there anything stopping from an Alabama-Clemson rematch?
At this point, they are head and shoulders above everybody else. They really are. And I've been consistent as being the scoreboard host at Alabama that when you're the champion, until someone dethrones you, until someone beats you and knocks you off, you're going to stay number one. And I just don't see anybody on Clemson's schedule that can really compete with them. That said, Andrew, Clemson has had a problem over the last 4 or 5 years, even as great as they've been, to have games that get tight. And they got beat by Pitt in 2014, a game that they shouldn't have on a last-second field goal. But if they stay focused, I don't see them losing along the way. The ACC looks pretty tight for them. Alabama, they're in a very tough division because they've got Auburn that's number 8 and they've got LSU that's number 4. Who knows where they're – I mean, LSU could potentially move up. But I think if Alabama continues to play like they're doing, they should be the team to beat in the SEC, and then we'd be looking at Alabama, Clemson. A lot of football left to play, but if you're looking at the crystal ball, that's what I'd be looking at right now. Dabo and Nick going at it again, which should be the 5th year in a row.
And Brian Hauswirth, some extra work because he covers Alabama, so he'll be covering the national championship likely once again. Brian Hauswirth from IMG College, Learfield IMG College. It's getting kind of confusing, but you always keep things on track for us. Brian, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Andrew, always a pleasure, and I appreciate you having me. Great to be back.
All right, we'll be right back after this.